Okay, this is the underside of the SR71, and I've cut out these parts on the wing, actually on the main part of the wing. I've cut out the this section here, and I've cut out a piece in the back to fit basically the shape of the ducted fan. So what I'm doing right now is I want the ducted fan to fit just snugly in there so that I don't have to hold it all the time that I'm fitting it. And it gives me the setup so that I can split the difference and then put my nacelles on there. And the underside is the one that's going to be the tightest. That's going to be the one that'll be tight up against the engine, the motor here. And so right now I'm just fitting that. This will probably be cut away. We may try and leave the point here to give it that look of the actual SR71, because that is part of the engine ability to run at high altitudes. So we're going to try it, see what we come up with. This will be glued down. That's the underside of the undercarriage. This will be glued down tight so that it will be permanent. The hatch will be on the other side. I'm hoping to use a hatch anyways. Alright, we're putting the vertical fins on, and we're using the fabric tack. Run a nice bead on there. I've got a little space marked out so that it'll go half on the center line, so it straddles it. I've got my gauge about 70 degrees thanks to Falcon RC. He built a small SR71, and that's the degrees that he came up with, and I use the same degrees, 70 degrees, and that's it. Okay, on the back end of the engine nacelles, it tapers. It comes back and tapers down. So what I've done is I've taken 3 inches left over, 3 inches to here. Oh shoot! 3 inches to there, and then I've cut. Oh, and made it approximately 5 inches flat. I've already started the curve. So now what I've got to do is I've got to make it follow the arc, but it's got a taper. So what I've done is I've taken and cut ½ inch, put ½ inch marks on it, 1 inch away from the leading edge of this piece of material, and cut slots into it, and then I've relieved it. I've taken the blade and I've relieved all the inside and out on both sides, and then taking the piece out so you can almost see through it. Then wrap it, put fabric tack around all the edges. Wrap it around a Coke can. Pull it up tight, and then use black electrical tape. Works pretty good. Black electrical tape, wrap it around, close it tight so that this end is smaller than this end, and let it dry, and it should come out. Should work pretty good for that. Alright, since I've got the vertical fins on, now I've got to close up the tail end of the engine nacelle. So, because it wants to just spring open, take a straight edge, run it alongside there, eyeball it from the back side, and get a nice straight level on it. You can even use the end of the straight edge. Push down on it, eyeball it, mark it on the inside, lay it down, mark it on the outside, then take and push again to where you feel, or it looks, by eyeballing it, that it's got a nice plane from the front to the back. And I use the CA, foam safe CA, with a little bit of kicker, and it looks like it's good enough. Alright, here we go. I didn't want to glue the little fan jets in case we use them for something else in the near future. So I was kind of tossing and turning, and I come up with this idea. There's a foam block underneath, like this one here, to make the nacelle. So what I've done is the bottom one is glued on, and then I've taken this carbon rod. It's only like 1/16 thick, 1/4 inch wide, 3/16, something like that. I sharpen the edge. I sharpen the very tip of it, and heat it up with the heat gun as hot as I could possibly get it without warping it or twisting it. Once I heated it up, I took alongside the engine nacelle. Engine nacelle's up tight, or the engine itself is up tight, and I shoved this down alongside the front of this ridge to lock it in. So I heat it, I melt it all the way through. On the other side, I melted all the way through, drove it in, and then I come up with using a tie wrap, and by tightening the tie wrap, it locks the motor in. It can't pull out unless it rips the whole thing off. And at the same time, on the underside, let's see if I can get a picture of the underside. Oh, let's see, where is it? On the underside, with the tie wrap going in one side up the other side, I tightened it up, and it actually squished itself right into the nacelle, so that when I cover it, it's going to be flush. May not even know it's there, but it's on the underside. Nobody's going to see it. So at this point, I can always pop this tie wrap and use it for the next project, and then put it back in if I need to, or if I need to work on it. Now for the top side of the nacelle, the engine cover, I wasn't sure how I was going to attach it, but this is what I've come up with so far. I have to clear it out for the tie wrap, the top of the tie wrap. It hits right there, so I got to put a little groove in it. But once it's on there, since it's all going to be black, I'm just going to take my black covering or black electrical tape, and I'm going to wrap it all the way around, just like that. That'll be my nacelle clamp down, because it'll go all the way around. And once I blend this in, it'll be all flush. So it isn't going to go anywhere. It's locked in the back because I've got the ridge. Right back here, I've got that little ridge, so it's all going to be locked in.